Do you know where your ads are actually showing up on Amazon? Are they being shown in the best placement to maximize your sales profitably? Or are they being shown on page 2 or 3 or beyond? Stay with me because today we are navigating the twists and turns of Amazon PPC placements, showing you how to tweak your ad placements, unearthing strategies that'll place your products where the sales will flourish. If you're ready to shift your sales into overdrive, keep on watching. If you are new to this channel, I am Andy Craig. I've been selling on Amazon for years now, and I've helped tons and tons of brands on Amazon increase their sales and profits through Amazon PPC. Let's get into the video. I'll see you inside. What exactly are Amazon PPC ad placements? Now, there are a couple different ad placements that we want to talk about today. Now, there's top of search, which is definitely the most important, is when your ad shows up right at the top of page 1. So right now I typed in garlic press here, and this is right at the top of the page. You get a sponsored brand ad. And what this image here is a custom image creative. Now, with this custom image creative, you could actually add a creative here that could be very specific towards your product, right? So for this instance, we're selling a garlic press. So they're showing a garlic press being used. I always recommend to any of my clients that they should really customize a custom image beta, the custom image creative, to exactly what that person is typing on Amazon. So if they're looking for a garlic press, show the garlic press being used. Whatever feature they're really looking at in that search term, make sure to customize the image specific towards that. And that's what I really set up all of our sponsored brand creative campaigns for. All right, now scrolling down into it even more, then there is the sponsored ad spots that are going to be the top 4 positions at the top of the page. For this result, looks like we don't have right now top of search. So I'll do another search. Usually you'll see sponsored right in the top, and those will be those 4 sponsored ad placements right at the top of the page. So we'll type in another search term and see what we come up for that. All right, so that's top of search, and then anything that's not top of search is rest of search. So now we have the sponsored brand ad right here. You could have the ad here. You could have a sponsored brand video sometimes at the top of search as well. But you definitely want to be on page 1 for that. Let's keep scrolling down, and then we're getting more sponsored ads here at the rest of search. All right, so there's a couple different placements here on Amazon, and then there's product pages. So when you actually get into a product, there are tons and tons of ad placements on that product page, which is where those product page ads live. All right, so those are the placements. So I want to get into exactly how do you determine when you could show up for those placements, and how do you tweak your ads if you want to show up in a certain placement. All right, so jumping into this campaign here. So what this is a sponsored product ad campaign. If you go into the campaign and you go into the placement section, what you can see here is where your ad is actually going to be showing up. Right now, we have top of search, product pages, and rest of search. Now, we have no control over rest of search, but Amazon allows us to put a bid adjustment or a bid modifier in if we want our ad to show up at top of search or product pages here for sponsored products. Now, right now I have a 15% increase on the product pages. So if I scroll over to our ACoS metric over here, right now it's 20%. Say I want to push the ACoS up a little bit higher because I really want to maximize my sales in this campaign. Now what I want to do is start to push up my bid modifier. Say I'm okay with, say, a 40% ACoS. Then I'm going to increase my bid adjustment here from 15%. Maybe I'll push it to 30 or 40% and then see what happens, right? And this is something I'm going to monitor closely. And then what we do is we adjust these bid placements, at least these bid modifiers, at least once a week to really tweak them towards maximizing the sales at the target ACoS that we are looking for. Now, adding this bid modifier will likely increase my impressions, increase my clicks, increase my purchases, and hopefully really start to scale this campaign. Now, I'm usually going to have a much higher click-through rate here at the top of search, as you see here, and then a much higher conversion rate as well. So if I take 45 orders divided by 600 clicks, it's a better ratio, a much better conversion rate than 17 orders divided by 458 clicks. I'm usually going to convert much better at the top of search. So even if my cost per click is higher, it's usually going to result in a much better return on ad spend or ACoS than these other placements. So if you're not getting many impressions at the top of search, I highly suggest to, at the very least, start to test that ad placement out. All right, so this is where you go ahead and modify it when you are in the campaign manager in Amazon's platform. But when you download the bulk file, which I could show you exactly how to do, you can come over to the bulk operations here, go to bulk operations. Once you're there, you can go ahead and download this bulk file. Now, all you have to do is click on the date range, say last 30 days or whatever you want to do. You could pick last 7 days, 14, 30, whatever you want to be. Check some columns. You always want to make sure you include the placement data for the campaigns. This is fine, just sponsor product, sponsor brand, sponsor display. Now, you don't need sponsored display for, if you're just adjusting the placements, but if you're adjusting all the bids, might as well add all those into there. So go ahead and download it and then click download the report here. And then once you're there, we could actually get into it. Now, once you're inside of this campaign here, what I want to show you is sponsored products. So this is the sponsored products section of the bulk file. And I filtered it out for you so we could just look at the campaigns. So you have the campaign entity and the bidding adjustment entity. So in that bidding adjustment entity is where it's going to house top of search and rest of search. Just like in the bulk file, we have top of search and product pages. Now, if we go back to the bulk file here, and if I get rid of the campaigns and I just look at the bidding adjustments, I can start to see exactly how these are performing. Now, what I'll do is you could open these up and see which ones they are, top of search versus rest of search. Now, what I like to do is filter by ACoS when I'm optimizing these. So if I go ACoS high to low, now in this specific campaign here, there's only a couple that are actually even getting any sales based on just these campaigns that I have going in this sponsored product report. So for this one, you can see, 76% ACoS, right? If this one is over my target ACoS, then I want to make sure I lower my placement modifier, right? Now, say my target ACoS is 60%, then I want to go ahead and raise my modifier according to that, right? So this one got 10 orders at a 50% ACoS. Say my threshold is at 60%, maybe I'll add a 20% increase here at the top of search. And then when you go ahead and update the campaign, you just scroll back over and make sure in this operations column here, you go ahead and just put update, right? So say you're updating all of these campaigns, just make sure in the operations column you click update, and then when you re-upload this file, it'll make sure to change that bidding adjustment to the correct one that you're looking for. So this is some custom data I just pulled out. Like, this isn't real world data from any specific client, but I just want to show you some metrics here on what exactly we are looking for based on the clicks and how you adjust it in the bulk file. And when you're done with the bulk file, you just go ahead and download it. If you don't have it in Excel, go ahead and just download the Google Sheet back into your desktop. Choose this file, find the file, upload it, and you'd be good to go. All your placement modifiers will be updated. Now that I showed you exactly how to update it, I want to show you what decisions you really need to make when you're updating, right? You always have that target ACoS in mind, usually when you're optimizing things, but if you don't have any impressions, you definitely want to start to test that. If you're really going for a certain ranking campaign and you really want to push traffic, you can go up to 900%. You can go from 1% all the way to 900% here on the top of search. So you can really try to push a lot of traffic, push a lot of sales, always show up at the top of search for all your best keywords to maximize as many sales as possible if you're trying to rank or you're just really trying to move through some inventory. Now, you also want to keep in mind this campaign bidding strategy. Dynamic bids down only is the primary bidding method that I use, but you also want to test out fixed bids or dynamic bids up and down. Now, if you're using dynamic bids down only, say you have a dollar bid, if you use, say, a 500% top of search modifier here, Amazon can increase your bid 5x, right? So if you have a dollar bid, Amazon can increase your bid up to $6. So it can go all the way from $0 all the way to $6 if you put that 500%. Now, with fixed bids, then if you put 500%, then Amazon will spend that $6 bid, right? So definitely fixed bids, dynamic bids down, but fixed bids can really help to push traffic because you're telling Amazon, hey, spend the money, push it, put that fixed bid in there, and just maximize my impressions, maximize my clicks there. Now, if you're using dynamic bids up and down, now Amazon can double your bid, right? So if you have a dollar bid there, Amazon can double that bid to $2 usually, but when you have, say, a 500% increase at the top of search, now Amazon can increase your bid even more, right? They could double it. So you put that 500% increase in there. So 500% on top of the dollar is $6. So now Amazon can increase your bid up to $12 to show up even more at the top of search. So you definitely want to be careful when you're utilizing these different campaign bidding strategies and when you're using these top of search and product page modifiers. And you want to do something and really pay attention to your bid when you're utilizing these. Say if you have a $3 bid and you're approaching that $3 cost per click, and then all of a sudden you put a 200% increase at the top of search, your bid can really go up pretty quickly. So when you're optimizing your bids, you also want to pay attention to exactly what that placement modifier is. And that's why I like using bulk sheets when we're optimizing, because you could see the bid and the placement at the same exact time. And then you could just run a custom formula. if you want to make your bid very similar to what that placement modifier is. All right, so definitely pay attention to that when you're tweaking these. You want to really keep both of them in mind as you're changing the bid modifier or the bid. All right. So the next thing I want to do is get into sponsored brand ads and how the placements work for that. Now in sponsored brands, it definitely works a little bit differently. So this is a pause sponsored brand ad here. And what we could see in the campaign settings is down here, there's this placements for below top of search. Now the placements below top of search allows you to decrease or increase your bid if you show up other than the top of search. So it works the opposite way that sponsored products does. And you can see I could decrease my bid from 1 to 99%. So I could actually, tell Amazon, hey, say $1 bid, you can decrease it this much to not show up on the top of search. So pretty much your bid is set at the top of search. Everything else, your bid will be decreased if you don't show up on the top of search. So let's say, I really want to show up on the top of search. So I don't want any impressions unless I show up there. You can go ahead and put a 99% increase there and hit save. All right. So that's the way to do it. So you could turn on the bidding, the manual versus automated bidding for that, right? So if you want Amazon to take care of it all, they'll automate it and, they'll do the best, but I'd like to have the most amount of control as possible. So I turn off the automated bidding and I do things manually. Now, like I said before, I like using bulk sheets. So I want to do this manually myself in bulk sheets. It makes things a lot better, a lot quicker. All right. So getting back into the bulk sheet file, I'll jump over to the sponsored brand placement reports, the sponsored brands campaign placement report. Now where I get this is going back into Amazon ads. When you go into your reporting, which is measuring and reporting, you click on sponsored ad reports. Once you're there, you're going to see this screen and go to report category. Then you're going to select sponsored brands. Once you're there, you're going to go to report type and go to the campaign placement report here. And now I'm just going to download this over the last 30 days. You could do the summary over the last 60 days if you want. All right, so I've already downloaded this file and you're going to see it in here. Now, what this gives you is the placement, rest of search or top of search for all these different sponsored brand campaigns. Now, top of search is definitely going to be the most thing that you want to pay attention to because you want to see, okay, am I really doing really well on the top of search? Now, this isn't like a bulk file. You can't edit your bid placement in here and then go and upload it just like you can with a bulk file. So you have to use this data and run tools like VLOOKUP if you're not familiar with VLOOKUP in Excel or Google Sheets to look at this performance, right? ACOS, and if I go ACOS high to low, maybe there's some stuff that I have a really high ACOS on that I just want to get rid of completely, right? If I have a bid modifier here and it's just not performing well, I just want to decrease my bids, I can go ahead and do that. But the way to do it is I have to find this campaign. So I'll have to run VLOOKUP in my spreadsheet to find that same campaign name, or copy it and go into your bulk sheet. Like if I copy it here and I go into my sponsored brands in my bulk sheet, and I can try to find that same campaign name. So if I go to the campaign name section, run that, try to find the same campaign name, that'll really help me with that. All right, if I just do a search for it. So other than that, you want to find the campaign name. You want to look at your bid modifier. So your bid multiplier here is on this U column right next to the bid optimization. So when you're running a filter inside of your sponsored brand bulk file, you're going to see this bid optimization. So what you want to pay attention to is the ones that are manual in your sponsored brands bulk file. So what I'll do is I'll filter out until it only shows me the manual. And then I can go ahead and just focus on the ones that I actually have control over. Now, like I already showed you, you could change the ones that you have in auto to manual, and I suggest to do so to really be able to have a lot more control in your sponsored brand placements. But now I can adjust my bid multiplier here. So like I said, you can go from 1 to 99%. So look at your sponsored brand campaign placement report, look at your bid modifier here, and go ahead and tweak it according to that ACOS. All right, that's where you can really maximize the potential of your sponsored brand placements by downloading that report and tweaking it here. I hope this has really unlocked some features with you on Amazon to show you exactly where your ads are showing up and how to maximize your sales by putting them in the right placements on Amazon. So remember, if you're not showing up on the top of search, definitely use these modifiers, start to test it. My theory is, how do you know what's going to work? test it. Test everything and adjust it based on the data that you receive. You don't know what's going to work the best until you get the data. Once you get the data, tweak the data to maximize your sales at the best possible ACoS that you can get. Thank you for watching this video today. Click up above and you'll see one of my other videos that we've posted recently. And if you have any requests for videos, put them in the comments below. We'll get those out ASAP. Thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day.